be getting to you. And our President William Ruto, you know, has continued to vouch for his move to bring the former top 4 ODM officials on board. And this is what he said as far as the broad-based government is concerned.
Mimi juzi nimeunda serikali ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Kwa sababu sitaki fitina tena na Mkenya yeyote. Hata kama ni kulipa madeni tulipe pamoja. Kama ni kutafuta ushuru tutafute pamoja. Mimi peke yangu nisiitwe Sakayo. Sisi wote tupange mambo ya kutafuta ushuru ya Kenya. Kwani pesa mimi natafuta ya Kenya inaenda kwa akaunti yangu? Si inaenda kwa akaunti yetu sisi wote. Kwa hivyo kila mtu sasa akuje akuwe Sakayo. Tutafute hiyo ushuru pamoja. Ama mnasema tufanye namna gani?
Well, so John Mbadi is also a Zakayo. Dr. Isaac Hassan, could be President William Ruto also be giving ODM, I'll be coming back to you, you know, the opposition, a rope to hang themselves, considering that it will be easy for the opposition to get into power come 2027, just riding on the failures of Ruto, but now for it to be fair, come on board so that all of us are blamed.
Yeah, Joel, I think it's very important for us to track records of what ODM members have said, both in Parliament and when John Mbadi was being vetted. John Mbadi said, when he was questioned by my brother Junet in regards to the bottom-up agenda, he was very clear and categorical that indeed bottom-up agenda was one of the agendas that both Azimio and ODM were advocating for. And basically, ODM, sorry, and the UDA have been advocating for. And when we track him back into the House, we know very well he was very clear that he will never want to know issues related to bottom-up, because these are doomed to fail, and of course these are things that Kenya Kwanza government will go into destroy with Kenyans themselves, and the cost of living will going to be high, as we know it will be going into skyrockets. So double stand or double speaking as politician is you know, the order of the day. There is no problem with that, but the president is trying to say that you have shouted a lot and you thought that you could do things differently. Come inside here and show us how we are going to do it differently. So our observation and things we are waiting is that those who are speaking different language prior to being appointed as cabinet secretaries into the government, we will want to see them speaking either the same language or telling the government what new things they are coming with, so that we know these are the new things that these guys are coming with. Having said that, I think it is crucial for us to know that the burden of proof lies with ODM. And ODM, the fact that now they have released all their top leadership into the government, then I think there will be no way that ODM will going to be opposition party.
So in 2027, we should also expect a coalition?
Definitely, coalition is already formed. But again, I always tell people, when such strikes are being made...
a Ruto-Raila coalition?
Not necessarily. ODM and UDA coalition could come. Not Ruto or Raila, simply because I'm not very sure if Baba will going to be in any ballot anymore, because we are pushing him to become a commissioner in chair, of course, commission chair at AU. So I think what is very crucial for us, and what the president is trying to say, is that you have said the president is bad, you have said Kenya Kwanza is bad, you have said the administration of His Excellency President William Ruto is bad. Now you are in the administration. Carry your own cross and prove to Kenyans what you are saying they were wrong. Make it correct, because you are in the government, and let's see Kenyans if they are going to entertain whatever you are trying to say, or if you are going to do things differently. And I tend to think the language that CS for Treasury was speaking recently after he has been approved is the same language that any government official will speak. issues related to taxation, issues related to cost of living, issues related to, you know, because government must collect money for them to provide services. And therefore, the only thing we want from their side is, can they tell us what different thing they are going to bring to the table, so that as Kenyans know that even if they were criticized the president from morning to the evening, every day, and of course at night in the clubs, now they are in it, and they should tell us what they have for Kenyans.
Jackson, Raila Odinga the other day said that he saved Ruto from imminent collapse. And today's demonstrations are a litmus test. Do you feel Raila Odinga, being in the Kenya Kwanza government, will prevent today's demos from taking place?
And that's one of the mistakes that the President Ruto did. He thought that this demonstration, like we are pressing the government, like he felt that the ODM people are pressing the government, and it's not the ODM people, it's the whole of Kenyans. Wakenya wote ndio tunapress demos, and it cannot be stopped by an individual. This is a collective spirit enye iko kwa Wakenya wote. It's not even just the Gen Zs. Everyone is tired. So ati Raila could stop anything, I don't think it will happen, and it will be evident today.
And did Raila Odinga hijack your revolution, the Gen Z's revolution?
Of course. Yeah, wamepewa kazi, alafu now they are like umeona vile she's speaking, like tulikuwa nao ile wakati wa anti-finance bill. Sasa hiyo wamepewa kazi, they are like, let's give, like unaona, like they are in the side of the government, and that's not the right thing to do.
Vivian, you know, ODM is accused of being in bed with the government, and already even it's, you know, Azimio's constituent parties are disgruntled by the move. You know, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka maintains that ODM went ahead and cut deals on the Gen Z's blood. Will Raila Odinga prevent even today's demos from taking place? It's believed this was not even his revolution.
I don't think that's a heavy expectation to put on one man. I don't think Raila has the capacity or ability to stop demonstrations today, because, I mean, these are adults of sound mind. Anybody can decide that, you know, they will go on the street. And for a long time, we've actually been saying and advocating that, you know, if you're not happy with the direction that Baba is taking, you know, anybody else can take up and organize protests. And I'm actually glad that people are stepping up, leaders are emerging, and they are taking up that space and you know, leading and planning and organizing demonstrations, which is okay. But I don't agree with the, you know, saying Baba hijacked the protests or the demonstrations or benefited from them, because this process from the beginning, people said it was leaderless. So Raila Odinga wasn't your leader. He is the leader of, you know, ODM, a political party that is known. And politicians, that's what politicians, you know, dialogue, they talk to one another. It's not unheard of, not just in Kenya, but, you know, across the world. So when politicians talk and come to agreement or terms or whatever, it doesn't mean that your movement has been hijacked. It just means maybe you are not organized well enough, or maybe you are disorganized, or maybe you did not have your agenda, you know, well articulated. And the other myth I want to debunk is this thing of saying all Kenyans want this or all Kenyans don't want this. How do you know it's all Kenyans? The way we always know whether it's majority, because a democracy is governed by majority and minority. The way we know that majority have decided this is direction we want to follow is we usually go to the ballot, and based on the votes, we know, okay, the majority wants to go this direction. But, you know, are we going by acclamation that because we've seen millions of people on the street, it means all 50 million Kenyans want that? It's very difficult to know when you don't have a way of counting or knowing how many people exactly, you know, want this, or are we just going by in the court of public opinion because this is trending on Twitter and people are on the street, then it goes without saying that it means that all Kenyans, you know, this is what they want. We are not homogeneous. We are 50 million people. All of us have different views. And just because your views are, you know, a specific direction doesn't mean now you speak for all Kenyans. And the other thing I want to also debunk is when the protest started,
according to
when
the
I'm
polls by
going to- I'm
TIFA,
going to
81% of Kenyans are supporting the Gen Z demos.
No, that's okay. That's okay because it's based on a poll. A poll has been conducted, a scientific poll, and it goes without saying that, okay, yes.
So maybe the 19% now belong to
No.
those who are supporting Raila.
As long as there's a poll and a scientific method that's been carried out that's showing they support the protests, and it's fine because, like I said, protesting is entrenched in our constitution. No one is against it. The thing is, are 81% supporting Ruto resigning? That's the question. If the poll will show that 81% of Kenyans want Ruto to resign, that's a different thing. Because the question that was asked is, do you support the protest? Yes. Now, before I forget, I was going to say, I was trying to say this for a long time. When the protest started, this movement was like, we are tribeless, we are partyless, we are faceless, we are, you know, all that. But now it's emerging that, you know, leaders have emerged. Leaders have emerged from the movement. And now we are seeing faces, you know, we are seeing people who are actually on the forefront of this.
Which leaders have you identified?
I mean, there are some leaders who have come out in terms of, they may not be leaders in terms of like they've been, you know, elected there by the movement, but they've emerged. Leaders have emerged,
Namely?
right? Relax. I'm going to lose my train of thought. So the thing is, what I don't support is when you said you're partyless, what are you doing being seen with political party players like Buka Obole, who is the Communist Party of Kenya Secretary General?
He's not our leader.
No, but then you're fraternizing with him. What is that saying? Like, it's the same way you're saying Raila Odinga is fraternizing with Ruto. So you're saying, by observation, you're saying they're together. So if I see you with someone and you're in a press conference giving the same views, talking about something, then it means you're together. You're in agreement,
Dr.
basically.
Isaac, the Ruto-Raila pact, will it quell the rage by the Gen Zs? And today it's a litmus test, actually.
Yes, it will. And the reason as to why I'm saying yes is that a number of Raila's fans who ordinarily will come to the streets to join other team will not be there. You know, we have quite a number of people whom I have heard that they are no longer coming to the streets, and they also expressed it very clearly on social media. The people who have been known to be mobilizers for the street movement are rarely now showing up. So we will want to see then who are the people who will be playing today's role in terms of this demonstration. But what is very crucial in terms of understanding the whole scenario of what is going on is that I think it's no longer the Gen Z issue. It is now political issue. There are a group of political wing that have decided to disassociate with all other political parties. For example, ODM and UDA now are on the same side, and therefore they want to be on the other side. And Kalonzo Musyoka expressed that very clearly recently on the media, saying that you have abandoned us, but we will not going to abandon our Gen Zs. It's not my words, that was his words. And everybody knows why he was saying that. It's the fact that he has been denied a chance. And I know very well if he was given a chance to join the government, like ODM, he wouldn't have spoken that language. So I think one crucial thing that...
he rejected that offer.
Yeah. No, I think rejecting is not a phenomenon known with Kenyans, and I don't think if it is true. And it's the fact that because the lion's share was taken by ODM, he said he doesn't want it. Maybe that could be a reason, but I know if he's given an opportunity for even 1 CS or 2, he will rush to it and he will never go. Because why the reason as to why some people want to be relevant is the fact that they are able to get a slot in the government.
Now, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Gilbert Masengeli, has warned that goons may infiltrate today's anti-government demonstrations dubbed Nane March. Listen in.
Our intelligence report indicated that there are security threats to the country, with criminal planning to infiltrate tomorrow's demonstration and commit further crimes. In anticipation, we have ensured adequate deployment of security personnel. However, members of public are advised to take extra caution while in crowded areas that are likely to turn riotous. The initial demonstrations that were held by youths, Gen Z, in June were peaceful, but subsequent protests morphed into riots with looters destroying and stealing property. Many police officers and civilians have equally been left either injured or dead. I call upon all officers to remain focused on discharging their constitutional mandate, which is to protect life and property, maintain law and order, and they should do so without any fear or favor.
Cop Shakur, that is the Acting Inspector General of Police, Gilbert Masengeli, saying that goons may infiltrate today's demonstrations, and so Gen Z should stay at home.
By the people who are in power, and we are not, the young people are not goons, we are peaceful protesters, and I'd like to speak to the goons who are being paid by the people who are in power. I'd like to, nataka niwakumbushe, like the price of fuel in September 2022 was 160. Most of them are boda people, was around 159. Now the price of fuel is around 190. That's a difference of around 30 shillings. These people, I think they are being paid like something like 1,000 bob. And this 1,000 bob will come in, wanalipuanga 1,000 bob after 5 years. Now they have been paid 1,000 bob after 2 years. So if ukicalculate mwenyewe ujiambie like e-government imba, like that's difference ya 30 bob. A boda person will use more than 2 liters a day. That's 60 bob. So they are paying you the money that they have been stealing from you. And though I like to advise them, take the money, but don't go and loot. Msiende kuharibu properties za watu. Yeah.
I think and not Vivian, you know, with the Inspector General saying that goons may infiltrate, why not arrest the goons before them get into the streets? Or, actually, when these protests began, the Gen Zs would arrest anyone who would, you know, steal, you know, or even break into other person's property and then hand them over to the police. Why is that changing? Or why doesn't the police have faith in the Gen Zs that they can even do that?
No, I think, of course, the police should do their part in protecting lives and property and, you know, ensuring peace. And maybe the only challenge may be in identification of who is a goon. But of course, if goons are found, they should be arrested and prosecuted. And also, even the protesters, if you notice, like, you know, people who've infiltrated, you know, they should do exactly, you know, as they used to do before. Arrest the people and present them like to police. That way, you separate yourselves like from the people who've been hired. But also, it doesn't even make sense. Why would you be hired to go and cause mayhem? You know, take the money and just don't show up, or just don't take the contract.
I think for Occupy counties, was it in Nane County, the goons were hired and
yeah, I mean,
they were walking in the streets freely with police not even interfering them. I think the police are even signaled that this type of group don't touch them.
And actually, Chacha, I remember in the last protest, the last one before this Nane, in Nairobi CBD, there were also, the same thing happened. There's a group of boda and goons who are hired to rob people and just cause mayhem. And it's actually boda teams within the CBD that brought that whole nonsense to a stop, because, you know, they apprehended some of them and presented them to the police. Some of them were even beaten, and I think some motorbikes were even, you know, burnt. Because you see, the thing is, when you come into their space, the CBD, where they do business and earn their living, and you start robbing Kenyans, it paints the legitimate boda people in bad light. So it's for everyone's good not to have these goons. If you're a goon and you've been given money, I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, just let people demonstrate peacefully.
You know, the state is believed to be using its resources to pay goons to counter the believed anti-government demonstrations. Are we even using or misusing our own resources?
I don't think if that is first true, because we have no proof to it. I think it is not. It will not be right for me to say that the state have used, they are the ones using the resources, state resources to sponsor goons. Those are speculations and people things. But I think Kenyans should know that the police command has changed. And the people currently in command are people who understand the nitty-gritty of police services role, both the 2 DIGs and of course one who is currently acting. And we expect Kenyans to adhere to the rule of law. And the rule of law is that if you are demonstrating, for example, my brother here, I'm telling him, if you are demonstrating, the demonstrations protocols are very clear, and you should be unarmed. And the arm begin from carrying a stone or even a bat. And anyone who is carrying a stone or a bat is assumed to be armed. And if you are assumed to be armed, then you are a thug, you are not a demonstrator. And that's why we are saying thugs are likely to infiltrate into the peaceful demonstrators. So long as people are demonstrating peacefully, I don't think if our police officers will going to infiltrate, affect their rights. But when it comes to the issue of one, right is contentious. Why? I'm not in a demonstration. You are in a demonstration, but you attack me. Therefore, you have affected my right. And therefore, I think the important thing at the moment that we need to understand is that peaceful demonstration is encouraged, and everyone will want to join that because we are communicating.
We are beginning to end up.
Yeah, the moment it comes to the issue of armed people, I think the police must firmly deal with them. And the reason I'm saying that is that I have an experience being attacked by goons in a demonstration. Where do we call this place? Matu, in the last demonstration. And we were motorists and we were just driving and people started stoning us. You see, that is not what we want because nobody wants his right to be infiltrated or nobody wants an peaceful environment. So
well, let's see.
I think
let's just get
one thing I just want to say is that the current police leadership, I know, will going to pick issues by balancing both human rights and also ensuring that people who are going outside the normal route should be also dealt with.
Let's see what our viewer is saying via SMS and WhatsApp numbers on the bottom of your screens and as well on our social media platforms at K24 TV at Joel Chacha. Abubakar Mwandawiro, my brothers and sisters, never fight a battle of which when you win, there's nothing you gain. Imagine those who stood aside and cheered us while we go through pain and the one who bargained and gained. Please, it's high time we stop these mandamano because recently we buried our brothers for nothing. Boniface Muriithi, if police practice brutality, it will not be business as usual. Obura Jr., IDs should be free. Office of the First and Second Ladies must not exist. Former Inspector General of Police and the police officers involved in extrajudicial killing must be arrested and jailed. Those abducted by police officers must be released. Those who were killed since last year's demonstrations must be compensated. Those are the reasons why I'm supporting the demos. Mutisia Philip, 199% support. Never ask me why, because many families have collapsed due to the state of the economy, which is a result of poor governance and corruption. Flacco, today is the day we all have been waiting for. I'm Kenny Ndoguzetu. Nane is here. We do it once and for all. Kop Shakur, your final remarks in 30 seconds or less.
Yeah, so I would like to advise someone who I'm loyal to, like the president, and he should not use force on these young people. He should not use police brutality on these young people. First of all, you have said, there are people attacking the others people. It's evident that the people who were killed on that day in Parliament, people were not carrying stones. Watu walikuwa wanashutiwa tu, they were snipers. And mimi, as having been nimekuwa askari, and I know if someone is not attacking me, if my life is not in danger, there is no way I'll go and shoot a person. And there was a sniper. There was no way that the sniper's life was in danger. The sniper was just shooting people. And these are some of the things that is going to fail this current regime, because they are trying to use force on these young people.
Thank you so much. Vivian, in 30 seconds or less.
For me, I'm pro good governance. So is ODM.
I thought
We've
you had to say you are pro-government.
No, I'm pro-good governance, and so is ODM. We've always been pro-good governance. And even today, I am not against the protest. Whoever wants to go and protest, it's, you know, good enough. But let's follow the rule of law, and let's remember that this government got into office through a mandate given by the people. If we want to withdraw that mandate, there's a way to do it. Tujiangalie. It's very easy to pass blame, and yet, you know, we are the same people who gave the government the mandate.
Thank you. Dr. Isaac, your final remarks.
Mine is very simple. We hope the CSS who have been appointed, the newly appointed CSS, will prove to Kenyans that they will do business differently and deliver to Kenyans and support the president. Secondly, our young people who are going for demonstrations, we hope that their demonstrations will be adhering to the rules of law and there will be no violence on it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Isaac Hassan. He is a governance expert, also Vivian Tar, communications and public affairs expert, and Jackson Kihara, the interdicted prisons warden protester. It has been a conversation on the Nane demos. So today we put actually a special focus on these particular demos. And so up next actually is yet another set of guests. That is Bonaya Rover, President Kenyatta University, Ikenye Uno, youth leader, and Steve Mbogo is a council member, the Law Society of Kenya. Keep sending in your feedback via social media platforms at K24 TV, at Joel Chacha. Even as today, we bring you a wall-to-wall coverage of what will be transpiring. Also remember, President William Ruto will be swearing in his new cabinet, 19 members out of 20 who are approved by Parliament already gazetted. We'll be right back with that conversation, even as I release my panelist for the first segment. Stay tuned.